The Michigan legislature officially missed its July 1st deadline for the state's fiscal year 26 to 27 budget. But just before the holiday weekend and after marathon sessions in each chamber, almost 10 million people in Michigan now know how their tax dollars will be spent. Wednesday was the statutory deadline for the finalization of Michigan's budget, including the separate school aid budget. This is the second year in a row the state legislature has missed that July deadline. Welcome back to the States. I'm Greg Bishop. Center Square's Elise Apel reports that in April, House Republicans approved a $75.8 billion budget plan. The proposal reduced overall spending by $106 million, and it cut nearly $600 million from the state's general fund while avoiding new taxes and adding to the state's rainy day fund. Now, the Republican plan stood in sharp contrast to the Democrat plan and Governor Gretchen Whitmer's executive budget proposal unveiled earlier in the year. Whitmer's plan totals $88.1 billion, about $10 billion more than the House version, and it includes record K-12 education spending, tax relief for seniors, and additional investments across multiple state programs. Similarly, Democrats in the Senate, they approved an $88.1 billion budget plan in April. Now, flash forward to Friday morning. Senate Bill 878 in Michigan, brought up in the Senate. Here's Democratic State Senator Sarah Anthony explaining that proposed budget proposal.
When these negotiations began, we were facing a budget shortfall of over $1 billion. Yet we made sure that everyday people did not bear the brunt of cruel and ineffective policies from D.C. This budget protects vital government services like Medicaid and food assistance without cutting benefits. What's more, we're continuing to invest in things such as free school meals and pre-K for all, tax credits for seniors and working families, water affordability grants, and affordable housing programs.
Now, Anthony said there's also new money for a plan to help some families.
We created a brand new child care fund to deliver long overdue relief for Michigan's child care providers who work tirelessly to take care of our children and keep the economy humming. With dedicated ongoing funding and a significant deposit to get us started, this fund lays the groundwork to solve one of our most pressing policy problems of the day. For our students in our schools, this budget yet again delivers record per pupil funding. Not only that, for the first time in the state's history, we changed the funding formula to ensure that students who need more support get the help they need.
Not everybody was on board with it. State Senator Jim Runestad, a Republican, he criticized the spending plan that was late because not only was it late, but it was also not very transparent.
Well, I've seen a number of these budget processes over the years, but I think this is the worst ever. I think it's maybe half hour, 40 minutes ago. We caucused to discuss the particulars of this bill, over 1,000 pages, 30 to 40 minutes ago, that we're voting on. Bill after bill after bill. My staff is trying to pull these bills up. We don't have hardly any information trying to read them. They're just coming like this. But we have no idea what's in any of these bills. Bills that we voted on today. This massive 1,000-page monstrosity. Who knows? Not one of the people here know what's in this. This process is absolutely horrendous. This is what I hope we were not going to be doing again. Probably my last budget. And here, this is the worst. It seems like it's getting worse every time.
Now, the budget ultimately passing out of the Senate moments later, that measure was sent over to the Michigan House. Before ultimately passing Friday morning, Republican State Representative Steve Cara, he said the measure lacks transparency and controls to help bat down the cost to taxpayers.
Here we are at 8:40 in the morning on the last day before the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence, prepared to vote on Michigan's budget after being in session for over 20 hours since noon yesterday. Mr. Speaker, before we vote on the largest and arguably most important bill of the year, Every member in this chamber should ask themselves one simple question: how can we vote on a budget we have not had time to read? We're talking about over 1,000 pages that direct roughly $80 billion in taxpayer funds. The people from our districts expect us to review, understand, and cast an informed vote on the budget, a massive bill that we have only had 96 minutes to review while finishing voting on 50 other bills.
We talked about $8 million that were in the budget for the arts, a House amendment that prohibited money for illegal aliens being stripped from the final version. He also said not included was the prohibition of funds for diversity, equity, and inclusion programs, and he criticized prioritizing minority-owned businesses for state government contracts, saying that it's discrimination. It erodes competition and deteriorates the quality of services. Here's Kara wrapping up his comments about the budget.
250 years ago, our founding fathers paved the way for a free and just society, one where government was instituted among men for the purpose of protecting our God-given rights. Their depth of knowledge, wisdom, and courage to establish the greatest nation on God's green earth was nothing short of inspirational. Through the slow and sometimes fast erosion of liberty, our country has drifted away from the intent the founders had for the people. 96 minutes to read this massive budget is an inexplicably inappropriate process for such consequential work.
State Representative Ann Bolin, she praised the budget just before passing, saying that it doesn't eat into the rainy day fund, is smaller than last year, and does not increase taxes or fees.
We also continued our effort to eliminate unnecessary spending by identifying and removing ghost employees from state government. That is good stewardship. But stewardship is about more than just how much we spend. It's also about whether taxpayers can trust that their dollars are being used effectively. That's why this budget places a strong emphasis on accountability. Through HEAT and other good budget reforms, we are bringing greater transparency and accountability to the way government operates and to the way taxpayer dollars are served. That is good stewardship.
Now, Bolin also ensured that there was protection for taxpayers from abuse of public assistance programs.
We are implementing work requirements sooner for able-bodied adults receiving Medicaid benefits. We are also giving them resources to help them find employment. We are ending self-attestation practices and strengthening eligibility verification standards. We're requiring interstate and federal database checks to help prevent fraud, stop duplicate efforts, and identify instances where benefits may improperly be claimed across multiple states, still providing opportunities for those who need the benefits to provide them, even if it's temporarily. We are continuing to remove the chip-enabled bridge cards, helping protect SNAP recipients from theft and protecting the taxpayer dollars from organized fraud. We're also establishing regular error rate reviews and reporting requirements so problems can be identified and corrected sooner. These are good accountability measures that help ensure assistance is available for the people these programs were designed to serve, not those who seek to abuse them.
Now, Bolin also said similar standards are going to be applied to child care funding. In Michigan, the fiscal year begins October 1st. Last year, the legislature blew past both the July and October deadlines, not officially passing a budget until October 8th. We'll be sure to get the latest from the team at thecentersquare.com.